guys, we are back for another Dokkan battle video. So I'm continuing this sort of guide series, I guess, for the really tough red zone fights that are coming to global Dokkan, right? So today we're going to talk about Omega Shenron. Now, I actually see a lot of back and forth. It's pretty much unanimously agreed upon that Broly is not only the hardest fight in the game, but he is much more difficult than the other stages. It's not even close. But Omega Shenron is very tough. But I do see a lot of people argue that Bojack is the second hardest fight, and a lot of people argue that Omega Shenron is the second hardest fight. Personally, I do think Omega is 2. The main reason for that is that while Bojack is really hard, and he does have his guaranteed lock and seal that he could do at the end of the fight, Bojack is tech. You want to take a lot of int characters in there. Beto at the start is a physical type enemy, but it's not like Beto is not like oppressive to where you can't take him down, right? He's just like a minion. So it's like Bojack doesn't really color counter you, right? You come in with a lot of int characters, Namek Goku, LR Evolution Blue Vegeta, right? You know, characters like this. And like, you know, you could die to the second phase of Bojack, but it's not type disadvantage. Omega, right? It's like, you know where his super attack is in the last phase, but you still need, like 550k defense as a neutral superclass unit to tank this guy's normal attacks. So it gets very devastating, right? And furthering the point I was making, Bojack, you just go into the full int team that's, you know, will really help you out. Omega, you really want to be using physical characters, you know, so physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku, maybe like, I don't know, version Z Goku, right? Like, you know, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, just powerful physical characters. But the second phase, STR Sin, the amount of runs I have died to this guy is ridiculous. So these stats right here, very helpful thread by Luca Dokkan. We're able to see all the different stats and stuff like that of all these bosses here. But like the real problem is Sin Shenron, right? They gave Omega really nasty color counters because the first phase, the Shadow Dragons, is int. Then the second phase is STR to counter your physical characters, and then the last phase is int. I still would recommend bringing a lot of physical type characters into this fight, but that's like out of necessity. You need it for this guy because this dude just hits so... I mean, you can't... There's only a handful of characters that could survive this guy's super attack, right? I mean, as a neutral superclass character, dude, you need like 1.7 million defense or something like that to just tank it, right? So it's like you're going to need like guard characters, damage reduction characters, dodge characters, right? This is where, you know... LR UI Goku is an amazing character for this fight because he can help you at the start of the fight when you potentially could get locked and sealed, right? They have a 40% chance to lock and seal. There are players who are going to do this fight for the first time. Omega's going to lock you in slot 1, super attack you, and instantly kill you and beat you without even a counterplay besides using items, and it's going to be very frustrating. It's happened to me several times before, right? That does happen. But it's like, you know, this is why UI Goku can be great there in phase 1, because he gets locked in slot 1, he could survive. Against phase 2, even if he doesn't dodge, he's got type advantage, so he potentially could survive this Sin. And then, you know, it's UI Goku has a 70% chance to dodge this. And, you know, people could say whatever they want to about, I don't know, Namek Goku. Namek Goku is not stacking up 1.7 million defense to survive Omega's super attack, right? Like, you don't have enough time to stack, really. Unless you're stacking plus guarding, like Tech Ultimate Gohan, or, you know, I think the STR Goku and Gohan exchange unit, right? Gohan could outright live it, but then you could also have the 70% chance to counter it as well. So, the Omega fight is very tough. He just hits so hard, right? I mean, look at this. He's doing 1 million damage in the second phase, and like, this guy just hits so goddamn hard. It becomes a real issue playing around him, and because he's hitting so hard, you really want to use physical units, and that plays you right into his hands, because then you have to worry about this. So let's look at some of the setups I used. Again, I have no items the entire red zone with many of the 200% teams. At the moment, I still have to do it with, I mean, Pan just came out. I'm still link leveling her. At the moment, she's not done. I'm still finalizing her links. I think I got 2 left to go. So I'm going to, it should be easy to do it with her team, though, because Pan is so good. And I have not really started / attempted it with Raditz's team or Majin Vegeta's team, because Raditz is just so poor. He's bad. He's a terrible unit. Majin Vegeta's team I found very weak, but I think Vegeta and Trunks makes it a lot better. All right, so let's take a look at some of the setups I use. So here's the me doing it with the Ginyu Force team right here. So, I mean, the Ginyu Force team is one of the better suited teams to doing this. I have actually, by fighting Omega, been able to get Ginyu to the point where he can survive Omega's super attack just with his defense, right? The Ginyu Force team gets countered quite a bit by Broly because Burter and Jace rely on dodge. I mean, they can have pretty solid defense as well, but they rely on dodge. And then, I mean, Goku Ginyu, you know, dodge is a huge portion of his kit as well. But against Omega, you can dodge, right? You can't dodge Broly, but you can dodge Omega. So it is very easy, right, to beat Omega with the Ginyu team. Ginyu's team might have been the easiest no item run for me against Omega. One thing that helps is Raccoon. Raccoon is very good if his guard is up, but at the very least against Omega, if his guard is not up, he's still got type advantage, right? Again, don't sleep. Raccoon can be very good, I think, this free-to-play Raccoon. Jace could be solid with the Scouter. I mean, I use Jace here, but Jace is not exactly super necessary because the thing about Omega that they sort of balance him, he hits so goddamn hard, but you always know where the super attack is going to be, right? Omega will do his first turn, and then the super attack is always the last hit of the second turn. One thing I should mention to you guys, if you use LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta's nullify on it, or the gods nullify on it, you will cancel it out completely. It's gone. You completely skip it if you nullify it, right? Then the next turn starts and he restarts the countdown, right? So the nullification is designed to go against this guy for sure. But there is another way where you could get cucked badly. Revive characters. So future Gohan and Trunks, Vegeta and Goku. If you, so like I've only seen this happen with revive characters. Omega counts down, right? Like he does his countdowns. If he finishes his countdown, so that means his super attack is queued up to go, and then he kills you, right? Typically the fight ends, so it doesn't matter. But then if you would revive, again, you know, I don't know, UI Goku, future Gohan and Trunks, one of these characters. Actually, wait. This did happen in one of these no item runs, didn't it? I think it did. Where was UI Goku? This one, I think it happened. I could actually show it. I think it happened here. So I believe, so UI Goku revived for me, and then Omega super attacked at the start of the next turn, I believe. Because what happens is he counts down to his super attack, and then like, you know, you die, his super attack is queued up to go, and then, yeah, okay, so we saw it counted down to 1 right there, right? So we got to 1. Vegeta, unfortunately, did not transform for me, so we die. So Omega's super attack was going to be the next normal attack. UI Goku revives. Because Omega's countdown is complete, this will now cause Omega to super attack slot 1 on this next turn. Again, I've only ever seen Omega do this because of revive characters, because his countdown finishes, and then his super attack is still queued up to go, right? So what happens right here is Omega does super slot 1, but I had AGL Golden Frieza right here ready to go, so we easily get the W, right? But that is something to keep in mind. If you're going to use some of these revive characters, again, I think LRUI Goku is one of the better characters you can rock against this fight. And yep, see, there it is, right? You only see this, Omega supering in slot 1 like that, if you revive against him. Look at that Golden Frieza, 90% damage reduction. He still took 100k damage, man. It's just really crazy. Right here, let me get the team setup queued back up. Oh, whoops. Oh, okay. We got it. Okay. So yeah. So that is something to keep in mind, right? With this Omega, is the fact that he can do that, but you're only going to see that with revived characters, because again, nullification characters like the LR Gods or LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta, you will completely wipe out his super attack. Now, I mean, since we talked about this, obviously the ROF Blue is still several months until they're going to come out on Global. Evolution Blue Vegeta is a great character for this run, but we saw he got us killed in this one. That's because I had really bad luck and we did not transform. If he transforms and he's rainbowed, link level 10, good equips, all that stuff, he can tank Omega's normals at the end. But we had very unfortunate luck and he did not transform for us, which hurt, right? And allowed us to die. Physical Super Saiyan 3 Goku is an amazing character for this fight. He can do so much damage to both the first phase Omega and the last phase of Omega. One other thing to keep in mind too, the first phase of Omega can be stunned. You can stun him, you can seal him, and you can attack debuff. The first phase Omega Shenron right here. So you can bully him with status effects, right? Which can really help you because oftentimes he's locking and sealing and doing all this nonsense. Well, you can get around this bullshit using stun and stuff like that. And again, Super Saiyan 3 here. Well, wait, here, let me just skip it. Wait, where's the RF blue one? Right here? Yeah. You can, Super Saiyan 3 Goku, remember, he can stun both in Super Saiyan 3 and Super Saiyan 2 form. So, you know, you can have some extra help from him in that manner, right? Obviously, a lot of the other units are very obvious. We talked about the Ginyu Force team. AGL Cells team here. So, Omega, so once you get through the first phase, his second phase and his third phase are Ki Blast super attacks. So you know what that means. Android 17 and 18 and 19 and 20 can absorb it, right? So the Android team works incredibly well. This is one of their huge strengths about the Android team, is that all of the toughest bosses in the game right now basically do Ki Blast super attacks, except for Bojack. But all the other toughest bosses are doing Ki Blast supers, which you can absorb and nullify, right, with the androids, which is very helpful. This team, it should be fairly obvious. I mean, these characters are all just very good. What really helped, I found this run, 16 and 18 can be good. They can. But the problem with 16 and 18 is that, I mean, if their guard isn't up, they get crushed. Crushed beyond belief. But against Omega, you know, they have type advantage. So that really, really helps you. And of course, Int 16 can tank Omega super attack if his guard procs. A lot of these characters, you know, this team is better suited to surviving Omega Super than almost any other team. The Goku and Gohan team, you know, some very obvious characters here. AGL Kid Gohan can live Omega Super Attack. You're not going to stack enough defense, I've found, to be able to do it. But if you pop his active skill on that turn, he can easily live, right? Because remember, Kid Gohan's active skill causes him to guard. Kid Gohan can be very good in this fight. Remember, you really want to use a lot of physical characters and AGL characters, right? Because you want AGL for his second phase. That's where AGL Gohan comes into play, right? You know, you have to be very careful with him at the start of the fight, but, you know, you could stun him, right? So, like, with this Goku and Gohan team, this was a very easy no-item run. 50% chance to stun, 50% chance to stun, 30% chance to stun, 30% chance to stun. It's just like GG, right? Like, with this team, you can get him stunned very fast. You could stack up with Kid Gohan, Tech Gohan, and then Xeno Goku, and then you should be looking good to go. Xeno Goku, remember, you know, he can be very good. Again, you gotta hide him, but, you know, because he's got type advantage against Omega at the end, he's supporting the whole team. Xeno Goku can be very effective in this fight, right? Like, I feel like this is a good team for a lot of players to potentially use here. You know, by now, UI Goku's been out for a while in Global, Tech Gohan, maybe Kid Gohan players might not have, Super Saiyan 3 Goku players might not have. But, you know, you could replace Super Saiyan 3 Goku with a lot of different characters to potentially take him down. Here's the Vegeta and Trunks team. Now, obviously, Vegeta and Trunks are not coming out for 6 months on Global or whatever it is. But a lot of these other options are very obvious. Super Saiyan 4 Goku will come out next week for Global. He is incredible in this fight. you run LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta and Super Saiyan 4 Goku together. Super Saiyan 4 Goku, in my experience, takes about 50k per normal from Sin Shenron before Goku super attacks. So you often can get away with running them as a rotation, right? So you run Super Saiyan 4 Goku in slot 1, Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta in slot 2 for the second phase. And then Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta bullies Omega, right? Like, it's oftentimes the second I get to STR Sin and they have to take even one attack, I immediately transform. And, you know, then they can nullify it, then they could counter it, right? So I don't really have to worry about dying to STR Sin. And stacks don't really matter so much for them in this fight because they're going to have type advantage against Omega. You know, you've got your nullification potential on his super attack, and then you could potentially dodge and counter his super as well. Majin Vegeta can be very effective in this fight. He can survive Omega's super attacks, right? If he's supering first and, you know, he's got his full damage reduction up and stuff like that. Future Gohan can be incredible in this fight as well. By the time you get to Omega's super attack, he's probably going to have his full damage reduction active, and you should be good to go there. I believe this is my first ever no item run in the fight. Yeah, AGL Super Vegito is a great pick for this fight. He does take, I think, about 30k per normal from the final phase Omega. Even with his 80% damage reduction, Super Vegito's taking like 30k per normal. Omega hits that hard. But Super Vegito can have a scouter, right, for, like, you know, the second phase, which could be an issue. And he can tank very well in the first two phases, right? First phase, because that Omega, the Legion of Shadow Dragon, they just don't hit hard enough, only 220k in their normals. And then the second phase, Super Vegito's got type advantage, right? So you could use him. Weirus is a great option for this fight. Obviously, you don't want him to get touched by Sin in the second phase. But Weirus, you know, he's got the dodge, he's got the support, he creates physical orbs. You know, you could create all these physical orbs for Weirus and then heal basically to full or something like that with, like, LR Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. You know, something like this is very effective. And the third year anniversary fusions, right? They EZA when these red zone stages drop on global. You know, when they, you know, transform, they could heal you. It could be very effective. Third anniversary Gogeta. This is the fight for him. Although this unit will instantly die in the second phase. The third year anniversary LRs defensively are very piss poor. Int Vegito is good after you transform with him. But other than that, the first 3 turns of Int Vegito, these units suck ass defensively. They're terrible defensively, right? Like, they're just not good enough. But, you know, the heal is so strong that, you know, under that turn 6, under 50%, and then you get a full heal. So they can be very effective, right? And then the final team I use here, the Gods. I think the Gods, this was actually the hardest no item run for me. Because, you know, Tech God Goku is such a huge option on this team. You're not running him in this Omega fight. The Gods can easily get caught, right? Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta, yeah, he is an option. He does take a lot of damage. Like, don't act like Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is going in here and he's taking no damage, because he does take a lot of damage in here, actually. But you can make it work. And he can help you get a strong start, because he can stun, right? Remember, he has a 50% chance to stun that first phase, where Omega potentially can be stunned, right? So there's a lot of the characters I used for a lot of these no-item runs against Omega Shenron, right? So you guys should be able to remix some of these units I use and build a team that should be effective against it. Let me know what you guys think of the Red Zone Omega fight. Definitely very, very tough, but certainly not as hard as Broly. If you're able to beat Broly, you'll be able to beat Omega Shenron too. So let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch y'all next time.